Welcome everyone to the Watchlist, your virtual weekly TV guide right here on the Latin Nerds Network. Ready to talk about all the shows, films, documentaries released on streaming over the past week, give you our best recommendations or non-recommendations as the case may be. And of course, at the end of the show, letting you know what's coming out next week so you too can create your very own watch list. Here we go. Of course, let me introduce the co-host is Senor Jaime, aka Chewy. What it is, what it was, what it shall be.
What's going on, brother?
No, a little day late, recording late because, I was going through a very devastating situation, having to bear witness to a total train wreck of a football team. But hey, it is what it is.
Day late, a dollar short.
Well, we're here now, ready to go over some of this stuff. So better late than never. Giving you guys a quick shot of what you guys could be watching this week. But first, Chewy, some bad news besides the fact that our team is atrocious. That's kind of just regular news, really, let's be honest. So we little in memoriam, another very, very tragic passing here for those who are unaware of. And this is going to affect you, Chewy, more than it does me because I was not really want to watch this. But we have the cancellation of one Swagger on Apple Plus after its two
Yes,
season
yes,
run.
no more.
Yeah, sure. I think you had liked the show. Not, I don't think you said it
Yeah,
was great or whatever, must watch or whatever, but it
no, it
was
was a good
decent. So,
show.
yeah, and
Good,
Apple,
good
yeah.
critical acclaim. Like I said, it was a very good show. But I think after two seasons, they've told the story they wanted to tell anyway. So,
Well, they don't have a
but I
choice.
mean, yeah.
There's no choice. That is the story you're going to be told. So there we go. So if you're fans of the show, it is what it is. There's plenty of other stuff to watch and definitely plenty of other things to watch on Apple Plus, definitely. So, again, not a huge loss, but yeah, bear just kind of mentioning. But God taketh and He giveth and taketh away, I guess. Because in that news, besides getting a bunch of trailers, we got the Boys trailer season 4. And, I'm sure Julie was very,
Yeah,
I was very
hell
excited
yeah.
about that coming out in next year, which is about a month from now in terms of next year coming in.
Mhm.
But they announced in terms of the boys another spin-off show. Coming after the success of Gen V, now we got one Latino-centric version of it. Of course, I heard
That's what
rumors.
I'm talking about.
One based out of Mexico, I guess, in the boys' story down there. I would assume heroes in that area. I think Diego Luna was producing, may even be in it in a
Beat
role.
your way.
So yeah, listen. I'll say this, it's yeah, in Mexican, just here we. I'll take a win, but can we just listen? There's other countries besides Mexico that are considered Latin American. We just don't have to be Mexicans. Okay, I don't need superhero burritos. I get it. Whatever. But that being said, that's
Oh.
still good. Listen, it's more boys. We like Gen V, and as did very well for Amazon. I think they had the metric, and I forgot the name of the metric that they used to measure in terms of gaining subscribership, right? And not just viewership, right? Just how many new subscribers tuned in. This is the first show that they tuned in to, right? Making that correlation. This is, I think, the highest they've ever had in terms of
Right.
that.
Impressive.
Yeah, and it was the highest last year. I believe it's the ever had. I may be mistaken on that point, but it was definitely the highest that we had all year. So that that's good. So why not keep riding the wave? More
Mhm.
boys, okay, fine. Bring it on. Why not? I'm sure it's going to be good, but that's definitely something that we look forward to. I assume it's a couple years before we see that coming out anyway.
Probably. Yeah.
Probably, right? But that being said, let's get on with this week, Chewy. And I want to let you lead off here. A show I couldn't get a chance to watch as I was out of town on history, and it was a documentary kind of.
No excuse. No excuse.
It is what it is. Listen, I'm still in pain over yesterday's disaster. That's the Unbelievable series on HBO. History, starring the great Dan
History, yes.
Aykroyd. What's
Hmm.
up with the show, Chewy, and is it worth watching here?
So it wasn't what I expected, right? Because
Okay.
I've seen some of the history shows. So this is more kind of like Ripley's Believe It or Not,
Okay.
I guess, in the format where it's really, really quick snippets of different things, and each show is a different team, a different theme. This first one was just on unbelievable locations or things that happened, right? And they go through a whole slew of different things that might be haunted. It'd be just strange or weird. Obviously, they have various personalities speaking on behalf of the locations or the events, and it ranges from other History Channel folks we've seen. One guy that stood out for me is the guy who did the show Man versus Food. That host, I and I mean, yeah, obviously, if you're a foodie, you know who I'm talking about. But there are obviously all historians and scientists that chime in on some of the locations. So, but it's very, very quick, right? Very, very short snippets of they have 4 or 5 different locations they talk about, go through it quickly in about 40 minutes, 42 minutes, because it is with commercials and whatnot. But I guess that's why it has that, that old Ripley's Believe It or Not type show feel to it. Or it's very quick. They introduce it, they talk about it, and they move on to the next thing, the next item. Interesting. It's okay. It's good filler. Interesting things to talk about. But Dan Aykroyd does the narrating and hosting throughout the whole show, so it's not just bait and switch.
Right. He's actually in the show. He's actually
Because
okay.
his father, I think, wrote a book about ghosts or something related to that he drew inspiration to write Ghostbusters originally, right? So that's where he is connected to this, right? And he's wanted to do this show.
No, fair enough. Like I said, I might go back and get. I mean, how many episodes dropped? Just the one? I assume it's a weekly.
And just one,
It's a
yeah,
weekly
it's a
thing.
weekly
Okay,
show.
yeah, I'll go back. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
It's gonna be light week next week, which we'll get to that later. But I'll probably go back and maybe give it a shot, maybe even later on today. But again, that's on the History Channel. The next one here is sticking with documentaries. Is one on Netflix. Bad Surgeon, Love Under the Knife. This one here was a 3-part series. Involving a doctor, a Swedish surgeon, became world renowned because I guess he came up with a procedure of implanting, I guess, a man-made plastic esophagus anyway, for those who had cancer of the throat or the issues.
Or other ailments or
Exactly,
accidents.
related to
Yeah.
the throat, obviously esophagus or whatever replacement, using stem cells and all that to kind of surround it and let it kind of grow around it, and there you go, right? The organ, lo and behold, he wasn't all that it was cracked up to be. Kind of a shyster, a scam about that. He became, and it's told from the perspective, for the most part, of his ex-fiance, who was a reporter who was doing a story of him, and then falling in love and whatever. She found out that he wasn't what he said he was, and very outlandish stories and etc. And this was very cool. I did like this a lot because this felt like this is a future series to be, right? I kept thinking, man, this is a series, man, because this guy, just what he did and the lies he told and the situations. He was the surgeon for the world leaders such as Barack
Yeah,
Obama,
I
Bill
mean, he
Clinton, and
name dropped everyone you could think
he was
of,
dropping everybody.
from
Yeah,
the Pope
yeah,
to
the
the
Pope.
Obamas to Putin
Yeah,
himself, dude.
Putin.
I'm
Yeah,
like, Jesus
this guy was
Christ.
everywhere, and
Yeah.
it's hard not to believe it because he wasn't. It's not like This isn't like the situation with Doctor Death, right? Which the show on Peacock,
No,
right?
no, no. He
He
was
was a legit surgeon,
yeah, legit, accomplished. But I think, it's hard to say what his motivation was, where he really didn't follow proper protocol to make sure that what he was doing was A, that it worked, and
Right.
B, that it was safe for his patients. And so I think through the investigations they uncovered that he went straight from theory to literally using his patients as guinea
Yeah.
pigs rather than going through the proper protocol of experimentation and research and animal testing. Because what he was proposing sounds like it could make sense, using stem cells to create human cells or from your own cells to adhere to basically an artificial organ, essentially, right?
Right.
Which is a big deal because today we're either waiting for either equipment that goes outside the body or is attached, or through donations. And so this could potentially revolutionize, as far as organ transplant process and the waiting period, because people die waiting for new
Right. Of
organs,
course.
livers,
Absolutely. Yeah.
lungs,
Kidneys,
hearts, you
etc.
name
Yeah.
it. Yeah. But I don't. He definitely did not go through the proper way. Why he went about this way, who knows? I mean, I don't know what his motivation was to just where it was money. I mean, because obviously this guy was definitely living multiple lives, right? I mean, obviously he was married, he had kids with someone else, so and obviously he was dealing with very shady individuals to try to get this stuff through, to say the least. And so, it was very interesting. I just don't know, what is the deal with this guy? I really don't. I
Yeah, it's
don't.
interesting, and I know that they have interviews with him as he's been investigating that after. But
Yes,
what ended up
absolutely.
happening was interesting in terms of. But it played out really. I mean, this one I was engaged the whole time. He was like, man, this is interesting, man. This is fascinating. Because at the beginning, like, is he really who he says he is? Because we have this reporter who just believed everything, right?
Yeah.
And she even brought up that like, and she's a reporter and she fell for his trap, and that she feels
Hmm.
that he did that on purpose to see, can he fool someone like her, right? Who's very inquisitive and
To get someone on their side to
right,
kind of buffer
exactly.
himself from future investigations
Yeah,
or
and the lies, yeah,
whatnot.
the
And
lies she
yeah.
spun and what she dealt with. Fascinating from beginning to end. I really enjoyed this one. It's a really good watch. You guys on Netflix, really good. I just had that was thinking the whole time this is going to be a movie or series sometime, because it's fascinating what this guy did and how he did it and how he got away with it and all. So it's very very interesting. Again on Netflix, a 3-part episode, really good watch.
Mhm.
Let's start with a film that came out before we get to some of the shows. This one, I know you didn't watch Chew, and I forgot this was coming out. I didn't think you watched it anyway. That's May December. Netflix film, one of the prestige films, which they hope to be launched into the the conversation when the award season comes around, and it actually did win Best Supporting Actor in the New York Times awards that came out very recently. So I'll give it a chance. This one starring, of course, Julia Moore, Natalie Portman, two good actresses. I'm always interested in seeing some good films, so I said, why not? We got Natalie Portman, who plays an actress, not far fetched. Most TV roles and all that, and she's prepping to do kind of his lifetime kind of movies about a woman played by Julie Moore who had a scandalous past. When she was younger, she had an affair with a 13-year-old and ended up having a kid. And the kid was born while she was in prison, because obviously it got out that she was doing a 13-year-old and they were in love and all that good stuff. So it's kind of disturbing things that she did. And now, years later, he's already in his 30s, they're still together, and the aftermath of what they deal with. And so she's doing a movie about that. So she's staying with them, trying to understand her and become a better actress in terms of performance he wants to give with this role. And then she comes intertwined with her life, and there's a lot of very dark themes going on here. Very well done. Listen, it's actually very good. It's a very good film. It's a very slow film. It's not for everybody, no doubt. If you're into those prestige films, you want some really good performances. The guy who won the supporting actor, I don't go as far as to say that he's going to win any more beyond that, but he's really good. Moore and Portman are great. Good story, interesting story, dark, obviously, disturbing, and I like how they kind of end is very dark, kind of twisted their ending there. I enjoyed it. It's a good watch. It's one of those films that it's again, I'm not putting a 10% great, but I'm putting up in the 50 to 60% good upper echelon of that in terms of that. Not a greatly entertaining film if you're looking for action packed. Not there, but good film. It's good storytelling. It's definitely there, different kind of story. So I'm definitely recommending that one. The show is chewy to get on with here. First one, Slow Horses. It began its third season run on Apple Plus, dropping 2 episodes and a weekly release thereafter. Not much to say about the show. Won't spend too much time because this is, again, third season. But, Gary Oldman, the great Gary Oldman, who plays the lead of this kind of
Hmm.
MI6 organization. He's part of MI5, whatever, MI6, whatever, MI3, whatever. I forget which one it is. But he heads a team of losers, right? Outcasts, those who are kind of messed up in some way, and they kind of cast them aside to do media work and end up engage in other bigger deals and all that. And this one continuing the story for how the season 2 ended. Chewy, obviously, listen, we've been huge fans of the show. Nothing's changed for me. Chewy.
No, man. I think this season definitely starts a lot faster than the previous two seasons, where they get right into the action. And maybe because obviously we have two seasons worth,
Yeah.
12 episodes of backstory and development, and we can just kind of get into the meat and potatoes of what's going on, right? To give us a little flashback to start, lay out the groundwork, and they literally go hit the ground running. With kidnapping and the mystery and going on from there, and that's some good action, honestly. Some good heist like action, especially at I think it's MI5 headquarters or wherever it
Whatever
is,
it is. Yeah.
or maybe MI6.
I forget.
But but very well done. I mean, so I'm enjoying a lot more from that perspective. Very great show, well written, well acted, and it's a good watch.
Yes, it's funny. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and it's good
Hmm.
intrigue, like this kind of thriller spy thing. This was definitely up there. I really enjoyed the show. So if you haven't seen it, and each season's like 6 episodes, so it's not like you have to go back and watch 8 to 10 or whatever the case is.
Hmm.
So if you got a chance, this sounds like your bag of tea. It's a cup of tea. I'll definitely say go back and watch it again on Apple Plus. It's third season, ongoing. The next one here is The Artful Dodger on Hulu, dropping its 8 episode run last week. This one here, of course, is following up on its version of the story about the Artful Dodger, one of the main characters. And of course, Charles Dickens is Oliver Twist. He was
Look
the
forward,
infamous
sir.
pickpocket. Him and his I guess handler, I guess best way to put it, Fagin, if I'm saying it right.
Fagin,
Yeah,
yes.
of
Hmm.
course they're
Yeah.
working together and scheming around. This one kind of picks off 15 years after those events of the film. Arthur Dodger was in
Hmm.
prison. He escaped, and now he's living a life in Australia, a new colony out there. and he actually, believe it or not, he's a surgeon, a successful surgeon, if you will. And he finds himself with some gambling debts, and now he's forced to kind of go back to his old ways to kind of get out of it, and things kind of escalate as, of course, it should. He's trying to balance that life with he legitimately wants to help people, right? So he's got that intention. It's not a scam. He's an actual surgeon, right? Chew, your thoughts on this one here.
I liked it, man. I don't know what to expect, right? If I was going to get more Oliver twists or more its own story. So, I mean, the only connection is obviously with the two, with the main character, right? Maybe the sub characters, Fagin character as well. But this is, I guess, I assume this is an original story. This is not based on anything that Charles Dickens wrote
Right.
or is associated with, aside from the name of the characters. So I didn't know what to expect, but I've enjoyed it, man. I find it to be quite entertaining, a different aspect of something we don't usually see. Obviously, Australia and the late 1800s, early 1900s circa. I can't remember where Albert Twist was set. I know Albert Twist was set in England,
Right.
London, if I'm not mistaken. But so this is obviously time afterwards, but it's different and it's new and it's unique and obviously the characters and the and the characters that are associated with them are pretty funny as well. So it's a good watch, man. I would definitely recommend it.
Yeah, I actually got to finish this one because to download a bunch of stuff for the trips, and so I ended up watching the whole season. They do. I don't know how far you've gotten through, and this is not a huge spoiler per se, but Oliver Twist does make an appearance. And there is and there is
I'm on episode 5 or 6.
okay,
I
he's
think.
coming up soon. There's actually a twist, pun intended, as far as how his character ended up, right? What happens to that? That's interesting. I like that. I didn't think they would go that way. At first, you're like, okay, I figured that's who he is, and it's not. But yeah, overall, it's a fun show. It's a fun show, right? It's entertaining. I like the character, Artful Dodger, the love interest. He's the women back then, she's trying to, be a surgeon as well, very intelligent, but she's a woman, so she's not really allowed the same privileges as men did back then.
No, they're treated as subservient, obviously, to the men.
Exactly. They can do nursing, right, as far as you go, but she has higher aspirations, and her father happens to be the governor. Governor, of course, of the colony, and his wife, and he's in league with the main guy. What's the main guy? The policeman who's trying to bring him down and going after the Dodger, because
can't remember his name.
I forget his name, but he's realizing that he's up to no good again, and here we go. Good show, very entertaining. Moves pretty quickly. It's fun. I mean, it's not earth shattering. It's not great, but it's a good watch. It's very high end filler for me on Hulu. I liked it. Very enjoyable. It was fun. I'm looking for. Hopefully they do a season 2. Obviously, it's open to that, of course. But I liked it. Very enjoyable. Last one here is Netflix had a show called Obliterated. This was I thought it was kind of a heist show. We were wrong. It's more of a based out of a team, special forces team, right? Who is undercover and they're tasked to find the stop it.
Oh no, special forces is the right word for this team.
Well, that's supposedly is who they are, right? Whatever, take it for what it's worth, right? Just laying out the groundwork, and they were tasked to kind of stop the buying of nuclear weapons and et cetera, from a Russian, whatever, and he's trying to sell it
in Las Vegas of all places.
Las Vegas of all places, the heart of debauchery. And this show gives the whole adage: what happens in Vegas stayed in Vegas, and this show should have stayed in Vegas. This show is awful. It's donkey shit. It's really bad. It's really bad. It's like Triceratops Jurassic Park shit that Jeff Goldblum runs into. What's her face? It's I don't know what the hell this show was. I gave it like 3 episodes. Like maybe let me just start watching it, because this show it's very decadent, to say least. It revels in its own, over the top, sexually graphic, and dirty jokes, and very raunchy kind of type of humor, and everything else is kind of just left to the side. It just doesn't work, man. These are the guys I think gave us Cobra Kai.
Yes.
This shit fails, man. This show is just off. It's not even fun. It's just so dumb, and the characters and special forces. I get what you're saying. It's special forces, but really, these are the guys. They're ridiculous, and they're just terrible, awful. I like nothing about this show. And the other thing I liked about it, gave me more time to finish the Artful Dodger. That's really basically what it did for me. I have both shows downloaded. I'm like, well, I know what I'm watching on the plane, and it ain't this shit. It's really bad. This might be one of the worst shows of the year. It really,
No, no,
one of the worst. I'm not saying it's
no.
not the worst, but it's definitely one of the worst.
There's plenty of worse.
Maybe
Trust
there
me.
is, and this is a knee-jerk
There's
reaction.
plenty of worse where I couldn't even sit through 20 minutes. So,
Recency bias.
so
Yeah, exactly. Right.
maybe, but I'm not as tough on it as you are, clear, because I'm still watching it,
Oh,
and so it has its moments. Obviously, yes, over the top debauchery, to say the least. I mean, the one I'm not sure. You probably didn't see it. There's one episode where we got full on. I mean, cock right in your face, banana split, and I was like, Jesus
wow. Okay.
Christ.
I mean, it's out. Listen,
Yeah, it was like,
it's
wow,
over the top.
Jesus.
There's gonna be an audience for it. I'm sure there is. Right. It's just.
No, there is, because it's not.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, yes, it's over the top, but it's not because it's not trying to be.
No.
This is
No.
a stick, right?
Exactly.
It's half comedy, half thriller, half
Well,
action.
to me, it seemed like
Well,
90% comedy, and the rest was there, right? Which
well,
it's fine, right? It's fine. It's just so over the top. It's like it's ridiculous, right? You don't believe anything that's going on. It's almost too much. The character is just this is dumb. I'm not buying these guys are here to save the world. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's nonsense. It shows crap. For me, it's trash for me. But I'm sure it has its audience, right?
hey, one man's trash and another
No,
man's
right. So
treasure. How about
May
that?
has his audience, and if this sounds like your thing, you like this over the top debauchery. Look, you're not here for the action. I tell you, the action is nothing out of this world. We've seen it 100,000 times and done way better,
Mhm.
right? This is more about the comedy or attempts of comedy, right? So you'll know within the first 20 minutes, I think, whether it's just for you or not. What do you think?
Yep.
Is that a fair assessment?
No, man. Well, after the first episode, I mean, whether
Fair.
30 minutes, whatever it
But,
is, I
yeah,
mean,
but
you'll
the
see the
first
first
20,
episode,
maybe first
and you'll
30
you'll
minutes.
get the
Yeah.
you'll get this. It's actually more, especially after, when you get to the party in the penthouse.
Oh my God.
That's where that's really.
This shows like this is like I don't know. I don't. There's any spy show meets American Pie, to the nth degree, I guess. Even probably worse than that.
Yes,
I don't know. It's very up
yes.
there. And listen, and that's what it was trying to do. To be fair, it's not like it was trying to do something serious and it just came out ridiculous. It's trying to be ridiculous. So I'll give
Mhm.
you credit. It worked. But I can't honestly tell anybody to watch this show. I can't personally. I wouldn't do it. I have a responsibility. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. Can't do it. But if you like that kind of shit, man, listen. Like I said, give it 30 minutes and you know exactly what we're talking about. You're in, you're
Mhm.
out. What you see is what you get. Nothing changes. The
Yep.
tone stays the same throughout the first 3 episodes. I assume it continues. It sounds like
Yes.
it does. So the you're in or out here. But yeah, for me, I guess it's one yay, one nay from yay from Chewy, nay from me. But watch at your own risk. Whatever.
That's all we can
It's
say.
all you can say, exactly. And it's like I said, other shows you can definitely watch. I thought were more worth your time than this, even on Netflix. So
Mm.
that being said, let's next week, dude. Not a lot. Next week is a very short, easy week in terms of releases. I think
Mhm.
things get infinitely better the following week. I think the week of the
Yes,
15th. We'll have
next
some
week.
stuff.
Yes.
But for now, a couple of things. One, we got a Netflix documentary, of course, World War II from the front lines. I guess Joey, this is
Hmm.
first-hand accounts or whatever of events of World War II. Am I wrong in that? Or
Yeah, I believe
okay,
so. Yeah, I mean, Netflix has done. I'm not sure. They brought in some other ones that were in History Channel and some other channels, but I think this is one that they've actually done themselves.
okay, which is a good
So I'm
thing.
not sure if
They do good.
yes, yeah, because they do a very good job with documentaries. So I'm not sure if this is a combination of footage, archival footage, interviews, or what. But obviously, it's World War II related, and but the emphasis is on the frontline action, right?
Right.
So at the various campaigns and theaters, I believe.
Yeah, so this could be interesting, particularly if that's your cup of tea and all that. This next one
Hmm.
here, hopefully we get it right this time. We thought it was going to come out a few weeks ago. It's coming out today, at least in America, and that's Culprits. It's coming out on it's Hulu, right? Disney overseas, Hulu over
Yes.
here. This
Hmm.
one here is kind of again speaking of heist. This one is a heist. It's a group that had a heist prior and they're living their lives, and I guess they're thrown back into the mix or something like that.
Yeah,
I heard good
correct.
things about it, right? UK show. So
Yeah. So
yeah,
let's
let's see.
hello. Now we get to see
Now
it.
we get to see it. And I assume they'll drop all the episodes. I assume on
I,
Hulu.
I, I didn't even check and see it because
Yeah.
obviously it was confusing with the UK release and
Right.
American release. So obviously I think all the UK episodes have dropped by now, or maybe not. So
I
I'll have
don't
to
think
double
so.
check
I
and
don't
see
think
what they're
so.
gonna do.
But I mean,
Then we're probably gonna get weekly
no,
releases on
that's
this one
fine.
as well.
Okay,
Then.
fair enough. We'll
Yeah.
find out soon enough in a couple of days on the 8th. And also the same day, I think the 8th is next Friday. We have a movie on Netflix. Leave the World Behind. This one
Hmm.
starring Julia Roberts, Mahershala Ali, of course, who's going to be Blade, Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke. Yep.
Good cast. This one here seems like it's a film. I guess Mahershala Ali shows up in the house of where Hawke and Robert's house, and I guess there's something, I don't know. I'm not saying science fiction, but something
End of
going
the
on in the world kind of
world
thing.
type
Yeah,
scenario,
yeah,
apocalypse
they
at
don't
some
reveal a whole lot.
point, but
Yeah,
it's very nefarious.
yeah,
It's very like they're not really throwing it into, and they don't really, you know, get into it in the trailers. But I think that's the gist, right? There's something going on, some world-ending event,
right. Yeah, I
right?
don't know if it's aliens
Or
or
it's implied, something,
right.
but we don't know what.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
I guess they're right caught in the middle of it all. So it looks interesting. I think it was screening before. I actually missed the screening, so I'll probably check out to see if it's gotten some good feedback on that. But what the hell, right? It's on Netflix. It's free. Good cast, but if nothing else, whatever. Maybe they're good, and the rest of them we sucks. It's Netflix. We roll the dice. Is what we do. That being said, that's all there is for next week. So again, a very short week. Gives time to catch up some of the shows like Artful Dodger. I think you guys should watch. We're still, watching, Monarch, which I'm enjoying. Of course, just caught up that today. What else is it, Chewy, besides Monarch that we kind of been the other one still
Well, Bass Reeves on
Bass
Paramount,
Reeves
which I'm
Paramount.
enjoying.
Yeah,
That's a great Western.
yeah. I have to catch up
Uh,
on that one. I'm about
yeah,
behind one down.
very great stuff. And last episode was
Yeah,
very good. Some good action on that one.
yeah. That one I'm
Um,
enjoying.
Still watching Beacon 23.
Oh,
It's still can't make a decision on that
oh, that's not
because
a good sign because it's been at least 4 weeks.
no, it's not a big concern because because the mystery is getting even deeper. Now we had a big flashback episode and then a catch up episode afterwards. And so now I'm like trying to figure out what is the mystery because it's a lot bigger than what's implied in the first few
Okay,
episodes, but still very good.
gotcha.
So
Fair
I'm
enough.
enjoying it. So it's still keeping me
Okay.
engaged. So that's a good thing, right?
And we got like Fargo.
Um,
Fargo's another one I would recommend.
Fargo's man,
Very
that
yeah.
is just great, man.
Season
I mean,
six, season five.
John
Yeah,
Hamm, Juno Temple. I
yeah,
mean, those two characters, the character they're playing alone,
yeah.
is worth
It's
is money
very
well
yeah,
spent, man.
like I said before, I said it again. You don't have to watch any of the seasons. It's a complete anthology. So if you guys haven't seen
Mm.
Fargo, go back. It's on Hulu now. Things drop. It has like 3 or 4 episodes. I forget. Dropping on Wednesday, so you guys can check that out as well. But that being said, that's it for the week. Of course, we'll be back probably next week and all that. We will have to figure out the logistics. I know Chewy will be visiting live. That being said, of course, we appreciate it. Subscribe, like, share the video, and we'll see you guys next weekend.
Peace.